Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Charts by TRADEway intro webinar. My name is David Verbruggen. I am the director of Charts by TRADEway. With me, I've got Caleb Pritchett. He is one of our TRADEway coaches and also an expert in Charts by TRADEway. And we're very excited to bring you the first Charts by TRADEway intro webinar where we're going to be showing you guys some things that charts can do. It has some very unique features in Charts by TRADEway, so we're excited to show you some of those things, and even some of the features that aren't necessarily unique to our platform. Oftentimes we find that they're a little more intuitive or user-friendly than some other platforms. Guys, I got to tell you, when I was a brand new student and I started learning about, charting softwares and everything, I was using something other than Charts by TRADEway because we didn't have Charts by TRADEway yet. And it was a little bit difficult for me. There were some platforms that I really struggled with, and it kind of made it harder, like a steeper learning curve, if you will, right? So that's one of the great things with Charts by TRADEway is it's very intuitive, it's user-friendly, it is designed for new students, but it is not something that I would say a veteran shouldn't consider. A veteran of the markets has some really good things in there for you as well. So we're not going to be able to show you everything that Charts by TRADEway has, but we're going to show you many of the highlights. So with all that, Caleb, how are you doing today?
I'm good, David. Appreciate you
Fantastic.
having me on. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Good, good. Well, I'm excited to do this. I've been looking forward to this for a couple months now. So we're just going to kind of dive right in here. Guys, I already mentioned a little bit about that steep learning curve that traders have. And that is a real challenge for some people to overcome. See, learning to trade, it's like learning a brand new language. You are literally learning a brand new professional skill. And this can be difficult and it can be exacerbated when you have an unfriendly platform that you're diving into. Just like what I mentioned before, some of the other platforms that I started off when I was a brand new student, they were created for professionals, not a brand new retail trader, right? And so the real tragedy with this is when you have a lot of new traders who end up quitting. And now there could be a variety of reasons why someone quits, but having a platform that they just can't navigate around easily can be one of those reasons. Now, guys, I'm a firm believer that everyone can learn to trade or invest in the market. I believe this is for everyone, all right? The key is finding the right circumstances for you. Okay, that is the key. And so this whole set of circumstances has to be tailored for you in order for you to become a consistently profitable, successful trader. That means trading the correct strategies that match the risk profile that fits your personality. Okay, that means trading with correct position sizes that don't exceed your risk tolerance. That means trading at the right time of day that works best with your schedule. That means trading enough so that you're staying engaged with the market, but not too much that you're overwhelmed. It also means trading in the right location where you live. I mean, even the where you trade in your house or where you live can make an impact and a difference. But it also means trading with the right platform that works best for you, one that you're comfortable with, one that you can understand. If we fail to find the right formula that works best for us, then many new traders just end up quitting out of frustration, and then they leave the greatest wealth building potential sitting untapped on the table. And that's the tragedy right there. And so we want to be able to bring forward a platform that we think can work well for everyone, and especially for new traders to help you gain some confidence, right? And there are some very cool tools that we're going to be rolling out to you. But before we jump to that, I want to share just a quick story about a guy named Rance Mashek. Now, Rance is a pretty cool guy. Caleb has met him before as well. And Rance is actually the guy who designed Charts by TRADEway. He's done all the coding and stuff in the background. This was his project from years back. And Rance Mashek is not for one, he's a fantastic trader. Okay. He's been trading in the markets for 30, 40 years, somewhere in that range. He's been an educator. He's done a whole bunch of things in this industry. And his latest thing that he's done is be a platform designer. Now, one of the really cool things about this is that when he was creating this platform and he needed to test it out, right? Quality assurance, make sure things are working well. And as he was using the platform, specifically the journal tab, and we're going to show that to you, specifically the trade journal in Charts by TRADEway, when he designed that and he was using it, he found that there were some things in his trading that he needed to change. He was using the journal to evaluate his change, and then he was going to make some tweaks in his trading, and he became a better trader. This is a guy that had already made millions upon millions in the market, been trading for several decades. Using this platform, even he got better. That's what we want to bring to you guys. So you guys ready to jump in and take a look at Charts by TRADEway? I hope so, because we're going to do it anyway. So let me move a couple. There we go. So you need to move that thing over there. Perfect. I'm seeing all the thumbs up coming. I love seeing that. That's great. I'm going to bring us right over here. This is the first page that comes up in Charts by TRADEway when you load things up. All right. Now, I'm just going to say right off the bat, we're going to be going pretty quickly here, just showing you capabilities and everything. This is being recorded. This isn't really going to be a webinar for let me show you how to do everything, but I want to show you what the capabilities are. So very first screen here, I oftentimes like looking at the top right here, just the industry chart. I can see the different sectors and I can see what's going on. You can see today, nothing's up more than 1/4%. Utilities is down almost 0.5%, but overall, really quiet day in the market so far. Now, that makes sense because we've got the Fed interest rate that's going to be shared with us later on today. And so things are a little quiet. By the end of today, it won't be quiet. It'll probably be pretty volatile. So that will definitely change. But this is just today. I can click on this and look at the last week. You can see the last week. Oh, wow. All these sectors up pretty strong. Look at that media up almost 5%. It's just a good way to kind of get an overall glance at what the market's doing. Another feature we have for that is the heat map at the bottom right. And I can actually click on this button to make it bigger. And you can see a whole lot more information. Obviously, green is going to mean up or good, right? And your red is going to mean down. And in the last week, almost everything is up. So you can kind of see what that looks like there. So that's kind of a fun way to take a look at what's going on in the market just from a very high level. Call it that 30,000 foot level, right? Before you start diving into specific charts. I want to show you guys some different themes we have in the platform as well. Charts by TRADEway is very customizable. I personally have grown to love this light theme. But if you want to have a different theme, there's different ones you can choose from here. There's dark theme. And if I click on that, boom, maybe this fits you best, right? Midnight dark theme, kind of that dark bluish. And there's several different. I'm not going to show them all to you right now. There's even pink if you want. That throws me off a little bit. I don't think I like pink, but hey, if that works for you, that's great, right? But light theme is what I'm going to stick with today. But I just want to show that, hey, even that is customizable. The different colors and everything that you can use. So really cool stuff there. Pretty quickly on, what I tend to do, I'll come to the chart page right here and just start analyzing charts. Here, it pulls up Apple right from the beginning. So this is the chart of Apple right now. Now, actually, what you might be seeing is this default profile. Your candlesticks might be a little bit of a different color. You can always change that in the settings here. But this might be what you're looking at. Now, in Charts by TRADEway, if you're like, well, I want to just get going, I don't want to have to build an entire profile for me, we have some preset David Mitchell profiles. And David Mitchell, as you know, he's the founder of TRADEway, and he also has been trading for actually longer than Rance has. So here are some of the profiles that he likes to use. I'll just click the 10, 20, 50 EMA. So right there, red, gray, and blues, get the 10, 20, and 50 EMAs, and then it puts the volume on the chart as well. So that's a nice, easy way to start and just add in some preset indicators in there as well. Now, if you want to add some other indicators, we can absolutely do that. You can see right here in the indicators tab, we've got some upper indicators and lower indicators. Now, what does that mean? Upper just means it's going to be on the chart. So the EMAs and the volume here, those are our upper indicators. But if I come down here, and there's a lot of indicators, as you can see, right? There's a lot. Honestly, I don't even know what all of them do, right? I know what a lot of them do, but there's some of them that I just don't ever use. But let's come down here. Let's pull up stochastics full. I'm just going to leave the default settings. And I'm going to add that to the bottom here. Then when I scroll down, there we go. I've got my stochastics right down here below the chart. So really good information, just very easily accessible. And that's very important. Again, I've worked with other platforms before where I'm just scratching my head like, how do I even do this? How do I add this? But it's made very easy here in Charts by TRADEway. So that's how we add some indicators. Now, if you've been a part of any of our TRADEway education before, you know that we love to draw lines. Drawing lines is kind of like the backbone of what we do. So if I click up here and select a line, there we go. Oh, I think I selected it and then unselected it. I can draw some lines, and you can change the color of the lines. You can change the thickness of the lines. Again, completely customizable. But you can do lines. You can do rays. A ray is going to be where it's to infinity. So, ooh, actually, that's a really good line. Look at that, Caleb. I need to leave that one on my chart. So there's a ray, and that's going to go to the right and to the left to infinity. Horizontal lines, that'll be a perfectly horizontal line to infinity to the left and right. Same with vertical or arrows. One of my favorite things is choosing a rectangle. And I might use this for spreads. Let's say I was gonna do a 200 by 2, or sorry, 210 by 205 bull put spread. I like to just draw that spread with the short strike, long strike, and my expiration, and just leave that on the chart. This is a great visual for me. I'm a visual learner. That's just who I am. I like lines. I like boxes. In this case, the rectangle helps me visualize and see what my spread is. So now I know where I don't want the stock to go. And I'll use that for debit spreads as well. And then I'll just change the color to green. You can easily just click on a box and change the color in here. So for a debit spread, I'll just change the color to green and be like, hey, this is where I want the stock or need the stock to go to. So very, very good stuff there. One other thing I wanted to show you guys as well, you can also just create a text box. You click there, put in a text box. I showed this to a student I was talking with a few days ago, and I was doing a session with them, and they were looking through their notes because I asked them, "Well, where's your stop out on this?" And they're like, "Yes, I plan to stop out." And they were going through their notes, and they couldn't find it, and it was wow, it was all over the place. And so I'm glad that they planned to stop out, but they didn't have it readily available. So I said, use a text box so that you can write what your trade plan is, and you can type it directly on to the chart. So here we go. What if I were to put in a text box and type in my entire trade plan? You know, this is my stop out. This is my profit target. You know, this is what I'm going to do. And you just plaster that right on the chart. That would help just keep everything together, a nice little visual aid for us as well. So some good stuff there. All right, guys. Now I want to show you guys one other thing here, and this is a pretty new feature, but I'm going to need your guys' help with this. All right. So I want to show you a trade from the chart feature that was rolled out. This has been a few months now. A lot of you guys have seen it, but some of you guys haven't. And we're gonna demonstrate this on the very first ticker that pops up in the chat. So let's see it. Throw in the chat, guys, a ticker that you want this on, and we're going to go show how this works. Very first one I see we're going to use. There it is, NVIDIA. I should have guessed it would have been NVIDIA. Terrell coming in with the win. NVIDIA. So that's what we're gonna go with. I'm gonna pull up NVIDIA. Um, that of course everyone's been talking about NVIDIA. There we go. So trade from the chart is this trade button right here. Now this is only for stock trades right now. Can't do this with options yet. There's some complications there, but we're working on that. But if I click on that, you're going to see three lines populate, right? You're going to have the blue line, which is the current price. You're going to have the red line, which is that's the red line is going to be our stop out, and the green line is going to be our profit target. Now, actually, let me get rid of this real quick. First of all, I love that NVIDIA was pulled up here. This is not one that I would recommend trading right now. We're doing an example to show the capabilities of the platform. This is not investment advice. I'm not saying go out and buy NVIDIA. For one, we've got lower highs in place. Okay, so we've got lower highs, almost like a little bit of a, could be the start of a descending wedge. So I wouldn't get bullish on this anyway. And with the Fed report coming out in just a few hours here, there's no way that I would want to trade anything right now. So that should be very crystal clear that we're just doing this to try out the platform, right? So blue line, I could put my stop out, and these are dynamic. Perfect. All right, awesome, man. We got NVIDIA pulled up there. That's fantastic. And so Caleb, if you can hit that trade from the chart button again. And so good thing I've got another expert on here as well who can also, fly through the platform with me here. So, we were grabbing those lines, and yeah, what he just did right there, he just zoomed in. That's another cool feature as well. He just zoomed in to make it a little bit bigger, right? He's doing that again. There we go. Now we can really get granular and see what we're looking at. And if you zoomed in too much, you can click that reset zoom button that he was showing right there. Perfect. So guys, I love grabbing these lines, the green lines and the blue lines, and then I can set up where I want to put my stop out and where I want to put my profit target. So let's go with a tight stop, maybe just below, what is that, your 100 simple or
Yep.
that dash line? Perfect. And I like where your target is. Now you can look off at the data. If you click on that line, you can look at the data there, and you can see all kinds of information, how much profit potential you have, what your risk potential is. You've also got the reward to risk ratio down there below. Right now, I believe that's saying about 3 to 1.
Mhm.
So that's pretty solid. And again, this is not one that we'd recommend doing, but we're going to go ahead and throw on a paper trade here just to show you guys how this works. So yeah, if you want to click trade right there, yep, he just changed the quantity. That pulls up automatically an order ticket for us right here. Now we can make any kind of changes that we think necessary. But what we're going to do, just so that we can get filled, Caleb, if you can change that from a limit order to a market order for the entry.
Sure.
That way we just make sure it goes through.
Mhm.
And then guys, everything else is already built in as far as the exit conditions. What this does is it builds ourselves a bracket order, an OCO order, so that your profit target and your stop out are all set in there, good to go. So from there, you can hit review, and then you can hit submit. Yeah, good call. I missed that part. You're going to want to change that duration to good till cancel. If you had just gone on like I had said, it would have been in there for today, but then tomorrow it wouldn't have been there anymore. So we always want to make sure we change our exit orders to good till cancel. So it'll be there for the entirety of the trade. So that looks good right there. Now we can hit review, and then we can hit submit as well. It's good to review stuff, submit, and then there we go. Now that'll automatically bring up the order status tab at the bottom. And we can see that it says executed. Boom. We got ourselves in the trade. We bought, what was it, 10 shares of NVIDIA here in this virtual account. Now you're going to see the dashed red line and the dashed, well, two dashed red lines. There's one for the stop out and one for the profit target. Those are your live orders visually on the chart for you. So that's really nice. Really cool feature, guys, that we've got here. I was really excited when Rance let me know that This one was ready to go because it just helps visualize our trade on the chart with ease. And that can really help. So awesome. All right, Caleb, anything you want to mention on this before we move on to some watch lists?
No, not more than there was a question that Anne had right here that was did you say this feature, this trade from the chart feature, is only for stocks? Can we use it for options?
Good question. There's not a trade from the chart feature for options. The reason for that is options get complicated when you start integrating an entire options chain, expiration, strike prices, all of that. Now, obviously, we can trade options in charts, and we're going to show that to you in a little bit here as well. So that definitely can be done. But trade from the chart with options is quite complicated. For now, at least, it's just on stocks. We may be able to incorporate that in the future. One of the barriers that we have is the browser technology. Guys, Charts by TRADEway is a pretty beefy platform with multiple programs running in the background that really push the edge, the envelope, if you will, of what browsers can do. And maybe that's why my browser freaked out over there. I was asking it to do too much. I don't know. But no, we're good to go here. But so browsers sometimes make it to where we can't incorporate what we want yet. And then once that browser technology catches up, boom, we're ready to go. So let's jump in and let's take a look at the watch tab. So if you want to click at the watch tab up there.
And I do want to say, just on the options, you can't trade options with that tool, but I use these to help me plan option trades all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
Because this trade from the chart tab, and let's just say we wanted to make a new position, that's just a yardstick. Like, this is a ruler. So because things are proportional, I mean, if I have a right here almost 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio, that's essentially going to be the same in the option too. So I won't take the trade from here, but I'm going to run that math because all I want to do is just draw this. I can change my profit area, my entry area, my stop, all of that. So yes, it is still very useful.
Awesome. All right. Hey, Caleb, can I try sharing my screen again real quick? I think I got my browser issue figured out in the background. So let me try this here. Boom. You guys seeing Charts by TRADEway again?
Yep.
Fantastic. All right, we're ready to rock and roll again. So thanks for showing that part, Caleb. Guys, we're going to jump right over to the watch tab here. In the watch tab, this is where we can take a look at watch lists, right? This is kind of the first place that I start with watch lists. When I click on the drop down here, I can see some personal watch lists that I've got created as well. You can see some very cool things like, hey, what are the dollar gainers? You know, which ones have gained the most today in dollars wise? Look at that. Berkshire Hathaway, the A shares have gained $783 today per share. That might sound like a lot, but again, it's the biggest stock out there. It's almost 2/3 of a million. Actually, a little over that, little more than that, 2/3 of a million per share. And so the percentage amount isn't that much. But some really cool information that you can see. You can look at 52-week highs, which stocks are making their 52-week high. So the highest this year, or in the last, 12 months here. These are all the stocks that are doing that right now, right? And then one of my favorite places to come is right here, the DM stocks, DM options. That's David Mitchell stocks, David Mitchell options. These are David Mitchell's watch lists that he's looking at. And he has a very specific method that he uses to ensure that the fundamentals are strong on these. And so let's just click here on DM stocks, for example. These are going to be some lower priced stocks that we know the fundamentals are good on. And this is what David Mitchell watches. So even guys, even if you're not a part of our education, if you have access to our platform, you have access to the David Mitchell watch lists. So that's some really good information right there as well. You can look at the David Mitchell options list. We have it for spreads as well, right here, and cover calls. So that's a great tool that we can use And it's important, especially as new traders, to have that low hanging fruit. I talk to a lot of students, and sometimes initially on, they're confused as like, okay, great. I understand charting and I understand how to find a good buy point, but where do I even find enough charts to look for? Right. And so here's a great place we can start. Now, we can also build some of our own watch lists ourselves. If I click on this button right here, and if you forget what these buttons do, just hover over it and it'll say, there you go, add or delete watch list. Um, I like to always add in .spx into every watch list because every watch list will need to have a ticker to anchor to. And so I just like to use .spx for that. Let's see. NVIDIA was one that was mentioned, so we could add that in here. Apple was the first thing that popped up on the screen. I can add that in there, and then we can create a watch list name as well. You could just say my watch list or whatever you want to call it. I can create that, and here we go. Here's our watch list that is put together. And you might be thinking, oh, that's cool, but it'd be nice if I could see that right next to the chart. Yeah, we thought that too. And we said, hey, Rance, let's see if we can do this for us. So he did. Now we can look at the recents lists, but we can also look at my watch list or any of the personal watch lists that you have created. So here we go, my watch list, NVIDIA. Now, there's some more cool things we can do here. Let's say we're looking at different charts, maybe Nike, and we go, I like this chart. No, actually, I don't like this chart, but just for the sake of the example here, let's go, oh, wow, hey, this one looks good. I can click here with the little sideways arrow button, and I can add it to a watch list. So I'm going to send this symbol to this selected watch list. I can do so. And now when I come back to my watch list, here it is. Nike, Apple, Nvidia. So we can start looking at different charts and the tickers that we like, the patterns that we like, we can just send them to one of our watch lists so we can keep watching them over time. And then same thing from here, we can delete some as well. We go, oh, actually, Nike, that's not a very great pattern right now. We're going to go ahead and just delete that. So hover over Nike, click the little X at the top right that populates there, and it's gone. So very, very useful things that we can use here. Now, you see these 4 boxes next to Apple here, and I want to explain those real quick as well. The first box is going to be your technicals. So the way that the platform kind of calculates things out and looks at the technicals, in this case, we're looking at this and seeing, hey, the technicals are actually red. So that's not great. Why could that be? Well, maybe because we have a lower high in place, kind of downtrending over the last few weeks here. The 10 is below the 20. So there's some reasons why the technicals might be red. The next box, the big O, that's our inner circle, right? That's our inner circle. And so that's going to be institutions, are the big boys invested in Apple? And yes, they are. I think it's been a very long time since Apple hasn't had a green for the institution. They love holding Apple stock because of what it has done over last 2 decades, really. It's been one of those incredible stocks, right? The next one, valuation, is yellow. Now, valuation is basically, is this stock on discount or not? Like, is it a good deal just based off of some of the fundamental data, like PE ratio? Is it a good deal or is it not? Green, of course, would be good deal. Red would be, not a great deal. And the yellow in this case is just, oh, it's fairly priced. It's fairly priced. Now, when I teach this, guys, I want you to recognize, though, that this is just based off of fundamental data. This doesn't mean, oh, it's a good deal because it's going to go up. This has nothing to do with what the stock's going to do, right? We're just looking at comparing the valuation to other stocks, and comparatively, this one is a fair deal. And then the last box is for fundamentals. So we can dive into the fundamentals here. There is a lot of information. I can click on the cash flow. I can go 6 levels deep into spreadsheets. And who wants to read all this? Whoop, I don't know what that is. Who wants to read all this? I don't. I definitely don't. Nope, nope, nope. So we can get as deep in the weeds. We can just click on the fundamentals button and see some nice simple graphs. That's just some cleaner data, or we can just remember our colors: green, yellow, red. And that's what I like to do with fundamentals. So I know the fundamentals are steady here. They're not fantastic right now, but they're not bad either. Now, if you ever forget what the boxes are, just click on the legend down here. See the legend, click here, technical inner circle valuation fundamentals. So that's just another way that we like to make information easily accessible and go from essentially, the 6 levels deep of spreadsheets to here's just a simple color so you have a rough idea of what we're looking at. Awesome. So I wanted to make sure I showed that to you guys. All right, we got to get flying here because we got a lot more good stuff we need to share with you guys. One of my favorite things to do to help find trades is using the scan feature. In the Find tab, I click on Scans, and there's a bunch of different directions I can go here. I generally like coming to Outlook because this is a simple way for me to visualize things. Am I looking for bullish trades, bearish trades, stagnant or volatile trades? I'll primarily look at bullish or bearish. And my favorite scan is chart pattern rising channel. This is fancy for uptrend. You want to find some stocks that by the criteria that the platform has qualify for an uptrend. Click here, and here's all these that you can look at. Now I can select them all, and then I can send them to the chart. And here we go. Here's all these right next to the chart now, and I can look at them. So yeah, Berkshire Hathaway, the B shares, yeah, it's rising. LLY, it was rising. Got a little wonky here, but it was rising. Visa, that guy's moving up quite a bit. So very easy way that I can just start knocking out some charts, and I can look at them and hey, if I like Visa, maybe I'm gonna, like we did before, right? I'm gonna grab this guy and move it to my watch list. So some very functional ways that can help us as traders with good workflow in the platform. Let me show you another thing we can do. We can essentially build our own scans by using the screener function. In here, I can have all these data points, and I'm not going to use them all. I can select which ones I want to use. I can build my own scan. So let's say I want to have price. I want options, optionable type. And let's say I want the 10-day and 50 EMAs, and we'll go with 30-day average volume. Let's just start there. And let's see if we can build ourselves a screener also to look for uptrends. I'm going to apply that criteria, and here's all the criteria on the left. Now I need to make a few modifications here because let's say I want the price between $20 and $100. Let's go with that. Yes, optionable, but then the type, I want to add in, let's make sure it has weekly options, right? Let's say I want to have some weekly options, so that's cool. And you can see as I made that change, see how the numbers changed here? There's less available now. Let's make another few changes. I want to get rid of all the reds. I only want to have yellow or green as far as those 4 boxes are scored. And it's reducing it more now. We're filtering out things we don't want to look at. Guys, there's like 11,000 different stocks out there. The faster that we can just filter out a whole bunch that we don't want to look at, and we're left with the ones that we do want to look at, that's going to help us save time. Yes, we want the 10-day above the 21-day. That's good. The 50 above the 100. That's also good. Volume. Last thing I want to do here, I'm just going to type 1 capital M. That's for 1 million. So I have at least 1 million shares traded a day. And now I'm going to run that search. Here we go. Here's our basically a scan that we have just built ourselves. You can see all of these match the criteria that we're talking about. on the left here. Let's look at eBay, for example. If we pull up eBay, wow, yeah, that's a nice little uptrend here. You see the 10 EMA, that held nicely as some support, moved up here, a little bit of a pullback. Oh, look at that, guys. The 10 has been some support for a while, and it moved up above that, and now it's pulling back. If that bounces up off the 10, that could be a trading opportunity right there. Is it ready today? No, it's not. But what would I want to do? I'm going to put on my watch list. I'm gonna put on my watch list. So here we go. Even in this webinar, we're getting some work done, guys. It's good stuff. Um, one other thing I want to show you in this area is the calendar as well. Calendar is pretty cool because you can see what is going on that day. So today, GIS, which is General Mills, they are reporting earnings. EPS are reporting their earnings, and we've got two stocks that are having dividends today, CRM, VICI. And you can see tomorrow, for example, who's reporting earnings? These four guys, FedEx included. Who's got dividends? These three guys. So just some really good information, just easily accessible again. All right. Now, we had some people asking about options. Can we trade that from the chart? Again, not from the chart, but I told you I was going to show you how we can do that. I'm going to come up here to the options tab. And the very first thing I like to look at is this expiration page because it has a great gauge here called the liquidity gauge. There's other information as well. There's a call, put, skew, an accelerator, implied volatility. There's so much information it'll make your head spin. If you want to get a more deep dive into all of that, you can click on the little question mark button right there. It'll actually bring you to a little video that was created by our friends at iVest who developed this platform. And they'll explain this whole thing to you. But I like just looking at the liquidity gauge to see that it's solidly in the green. That means, hey, my bid-ask spreads should be fair, it should have enough open interest, it should be tradable. The options should be tradable. I should be able to get in and out of the options relatively quickly and easily. So that's good. We'll come here, we'll select the November expiration. I'm going to click OK here. You can just see the option change is very clean look. It'll usually start with your near strikes, but if you want to look at more of them, you can just select that and look at more, or you can look at all of them. Just depends on how much information you want to be bombarded with. Sometimes people are like, I only want to see what I need to see, right? And then here we go. Now we can set this up and go, okay, well, let's see if let's set up a bull call debit spread. 65 by 67.50 here. So it's a $2.50 wide debit spread. So if I set that up in here, then it populates these strikes on our risk graph on the right. This is some really cool stuff here. I can click that to make it bigger, but I can very quickly see my reward to risk and help analyze that trade. I can also look at the volatility graph down below here. I can make that bigger as well. You can see the red line is the high for the year, and then the bottom red line is the low for the year on volatility, with yellow being the average. And where are we right now? Oh, we're a little bit below the average. So, hey, the options might be better priced on eBay. Sweet. Now I know that information. So that's good to know there. We can also look at the chain analysis. Now, I don't use this too often, but if you like 3D kind of dimensional models, then this could be something cool to look at and play around with here, right? I'm not going to do a deep dive on this right now. I just want to show you that this is here, and you can go play with that. But some really good information if you really want to get analytical and just dive in there, go for it. All right, now we built here a bull call debit spread, but and we usually teach our students how to build things from scratch. I think that's important. But when you get to that point where you're like, I don't want to have to just build it. Let's see if they have templates. Yes, we do. We've got templates in here. So in this case, if I want to look at some bullish trades, a bull call debit spread, boom, it'll just build it for us here. Now, in this case, it built us a $10 wide. And it's like, oof, okay, I don't know if I want to go with a $10 wide debit spread right now. Well, you can click on the long strike right there, and you can just change these strikes. So it'll give you the bid-ask spread there, and I could choose a 65, For the short strike, I could change that to 67.50. There you go. There's our 67.50 or $2.50 wide bull call debit spread. And you can kind of see what this looks like. I'll make this bigger, related to the chart, right? And then it has a risk graph as well, flipped on its side to match the chart on the left. So that's pretty cool information. I can change some time frames here. Maybe you want to look at a 3-month chart, so you can see how things are looking. But again, multiple different ways to see a bunch of different information. So that should help us out as well. All right. Oh, let's trade one. I almost forgot. Whoops, where am I going here? Coming to options. I'm gonna go. I want to come here again. We're going to do a single option. We'll trade the at the money here. We're going to buy it. I'm in my paper trading account. We're going to buy just a straight call at the money. I'm going to trade. Everything looks good. I'm going to leave to the natural price, because I want to make sure that I get filled quickly here. I don't want to just go market on an option here. But let's review and submit and continue. And this is in a TRADEway virtual account here, and boom, we're executed at $4.10 on eBay. Now, again, this is not a trade recommendation. In fact, this is one that I was saying, hey, wait for it to pull back. It's not ready yet. But I just want to show you guys what we're able to do. And you can see it populates it now on the graph as well, on the chart there. So if I pull up my order status, again, there it is, executed at 410. I can look at my positions, and I've got a bunch of different positions in here just because I buy stuff in different webinars and everything. And here we go. Here's eBay. Here's our one call option, expiration 58 days out. And it's showing a minor loss just because of that bid-ask spread, right? The bid-ask spread. So you're in an option, you're almost always going to show a minor expense initially on. Now, guys, this kind of brings us to the point where I get to show you one of my favorite features in the platform, and that's the trade journal. So let's come over here and let's look at the trade journal. And look at that. First thing that pops up here is eBay. That's the one we just bought. I can click in here and see all kinds of information. The trade journal is what Rance used to help improve his trading when he was just trying to test out the platform. And that's because he's got all this information here, right? Now, this is going to do a lot of analysis on your trading. You've got some tags, got some graphs here. We can get some better insight as to what's going on. You can see in this paper trading account that I have, hey, I'm winning more trades than I'm losing, almost a 60% win rate. But my average winners is low and my average losers are kind of big. Why might that be? Maybe I'm not doing a good job of stopping out. And that is exactly the truth here. That is exactly the truth in this virtual account, because I'll get in trades on webinars and just it's a paper trading account, but then I won't manage them later on because I'm off to the next thing. And so you're going to see, a few things like, oh, wow, a couple long puts, they lost some money. Hey, a couple iron condors, they did well. So some really good information. You can even dig down and look at, let's see, here we go, bull puts. If I just click on the bull puts, it's going to pull up all of the bull put trades. And then I can see even deeper down some information. Most of the bull puts were winning money. That's great. That's great. But I got a couple here, Microsoft and NVIDIA, on these dates, and they lost severely. So we're now analyzing this and going, okay, there's a lot of things I'm doing well in the bull puts, but if I can just manage my expenses better, you think this strategy would have been profitable overall? Yeah, it absolutely could have been, right? So good information there to look at. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to show this next thing to you guys yet, but I wanted to show this to you anyway. And this is a new feature we just rolled out. It's some AI that we can use to help analyze things. we're going to start incorporating some AI in different areas in the platform. Now, this is not to do your trading for you, right? Because we don't actually don't we don't believe in that. We want you to be able to make the decisions. But if I click here on AI in the journal, it'll go ahead and analyze my trade journal and give me some feedback. How cool is that? Maybe a different perspective than what you're looking at, or even a slightly different perspective than what a coach might give you. But it's going to do a whole lot of analysis, and it'll see what your strengths are, maybe areas of improvement, general observations, and recommendations. Look at that. General recommendation: evaluate risk management. Um, Review risk mitigation techniques to potentially reduce losses in certain strategies. Yes, that makes perfect sense. I haven't been stopping out like I should have been in this virtual account for the reasons that I had already mentioned to you before.
Hey, David.
So, yeah, go for it.
On this one, I use this. So I don't know if you guys saw, but in when I was sharing my screen right here, I'm just going to highlight
Mhm.
over here. These are all David's accounts. And so I had a different list as well. I tend to have a bunch of different paper trading lists. Well, when I'm starting a new strategy, I'll typically just open a new paper trading account and then devote all of it to that strategy, just to make it even easier for me to just kind of segment and say, okay, that's right. If I'm like doing experimental workshop stuff where I'm just messing around and I need my sandbox, I have
Mm.
an account for that. If I'm really trying to hone in on one specific strategy, I have an account for that. Well, I ran one of those accounts for two of our advanced courses where I was
Mhm.
working on those. I ran the AI through that, and it actually pulled notes that I'd written to myself and said, actually, you know what? Based on it was like general observations or recommendations or something in that section where in that screen you've got right now. It actually said, well, based on this journal note, you need to do this. I'm like, you're using my own words against me. Like, really?
What?
Okay.
That's cool.
That's kind of rude, a little churlish, but it was really cool. I was really impressed that it actually was reading my own notes and then saying, just in case you missed it, don't forget this. It was really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't know that it could do that. Guys, this AI feature is brand spanking new, right? I mean, we just rolled it out to students a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. It is brand new. So even us coaches, we're still learning some of its capabilities. So that's really cool, Caleb, what you're saying. I love that. So, guys, we've just gone like lightning through not all the platform, just some of the highlights because I want to show you some of these things. So then it kind of brings up the question: are you ready to transform your trading? Do you like what you're seeing? Are you ready to give you, the trader, the tools necessary to improve? I think that Charts by TRADEway can help you if you're a brand new trader or if you're a seasoned trader in the markets. So, how do you get Charts by TRADEway if you don't have it yet? Well, let's go ahead and let's just come here. I'm going to open up a new tab. We're just going to go to chartsbytradeway.com. And Caleb, feel free to throw that um, in the chat as well. Chartsbytradeway.com is going to pull up this screen. It's got a bunch of information on here as well. If you click on the sign up button, it'll give you some pricing information. It's $60 a month for the elite version and $30 a month for the basic version. Now, if you want to know, well, what comes with what? Well, the elite version comes with everything, right? It comes with everything. But if I scroll down below here, you can see what the basic version comes with, and you can see it doesn't have some of the newer bells and whistles. It doesn't have the screener, doesn't have AI. It has some of the basic scans, but not the premium scans, right? So you can take a look at that to see what all comes with basic versus elite. So if you're a brand new at trading, if you're brand new, it's okay to start with the basic version. You can always upgrade that at a later time. If you're already been training for a while, you may just want to jump in with the elite version because you've got some experience. You want to get some of those bells and whistles that'll help you as well. So, and again, you can always upgrade that at any time. So, guys, here we go. If you're ready to do this, come to chartsbytroy.com and click to sign up for elite or for basic. Now, if you've got some more questions about our education, wow, I want to learn more about this stuff. Maybe you got on this webinar and you haven't done any trading yet, and that's awesome. I love that you were here today. Feel free to reach out to us, support@tradeway.com. We'd love to help any way that we can. Um, and then one last thing, Caleb, if you can also throw in that link for the training. Uh, Today is all about capabilities in the platform, but we didn't really take a whole lot of time to show you how to do things. We already have a lot of our charts by TradeWay training put on YouTube. And so we've got the link dropped in there. Caleb did that. Thank you. That link for YouTube is going to pull up like, I don't know, 34 videos or something like that. Of all of our training that we have right now. So that is available for you as well. So with that, I want to take just a little bit of time. If there are any questions about capabilities in the platform, I'd like to do those now. So Caleb, what do we got?
Sure, we just have a couple. So Ken had a really good one, and I wanted to bring this up because I'm not actually sure because I haven't done this way. If
Sure.
you pyramid into a position, does it show you each trade, or does it average across all the trades on the chart?
I'm sorry. Ask that again. I think something got
Okay.
muffled. If you would.
If you pyramid into a position, does charts show you each trade or the average for all the trades on the chart?
Ooh, that is a good question. I believe it's going to show you the average. I rarely pyramid in, so I am not sure. But I'll tell you what, if you wanted to send that question to support@tradeway.com, I'll do some research. Any question that I don't know, I'm not going to guess at it, right? I'm not going to guess at it. I'm just going to say, hey, send that to support@tradeway. I'm going to research that for you. I'm going to get you an answer back. My trading style personality, I don't generally pyramid in or out. I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of guy. That's my personality. So that's how I've usually done it.
Okay. Let's see. Alberto has a really good one. How can I use my SD IRA to trade in charts?
Great question. So I'm glad you asked that. We have the ability in Charts by TradeWay to link to several brokers. We can link to Tradier. We can link to TradeStation. We can link to Schwab. There's a couple other brokers I won't mention, but I know they're coming online hopefully by the end of this year. So if you have your IRA with another broker, one of the brokers that do link, and to get that full list of who all can link right now, you can come down here to the bottom left, click the plus button, and you can see which brokers. So Tradier, Choice Trade, Schwab, E-Trade, I forgot to mention them, TradeStation. Those are the ones you can do. And there's also virtual accounts. Guys, you can trade without putting real money at risk, right? And there's these virtual accounts that we have for that. So those are options for you as well. But then you can link your IRA to Charts by TradeWay and do all of your trading in our platform, and it just sends the information through the API to the broker. Boom, executes your trades, whether in or out, whatever you need to do. Good question.
Okay, let's see. Rosita was talking a little bit. We were kind of going back and forth about pattern scans. Specifically, like, does charts have scans for W's or M's or head and shoulders or flags, that kind of thing? Um,
Mm.
and would that be something we would want to potentially add later?
Yeah, good question. I don't think that we have scans for specifically W's or M's, but you just got to come in here and play around with some things. Outlook I mentioned, chart pattern, rising channel, that was my favorite one. But let's see, there's ascending triangle, so like a bullish wedge, right? We've talked about those, and same to the downside. There's going to be a descending triangle, there's going to be declining channel, stagnant, your rolling stocks, right? Different ideas. This is going to be different things, not related to specific patterns, but cash flow analysis, or let's see, technical. There you go, technical analysis. So some of the same things that we've already looked at in here. Um, so yeah, not W's or M's. those are some things we teach specifically in our education, but is not built into the platform. That is a good question, Rosita. I would have to ask and see, is that a possibility to bring those scans or to create those scans? I mean, um, we'd have to see how to code that in the platform. But here's my pen. I want to write that down because I really do like that idea. That'd be pretty cool. I'm going to see what we can do, see if it's a possibility.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Sweet. Okay, I was typing out this response, but I think it actually warrants. We should probably bring this one up. Robert
Sure.
was wondering in his journal, he has some yellow reconcile
Yeah.
uh, kind of indicators on there. What does that mean, and how do I take care of them?
Yeah. Yeah. So to reconcile, let's see if I come here, reconciliation. I probably have a few I need to oh, I got a lot that or no, I don't. Click here. Yep, I don't have any I need to reconcile right now. So if it says reconciliation, what that means is that when an option expires and you're holding on to it, when you're holding on to an option that expires, the platform isn't going to guess as to what happened. It's not going to guess did it expire out of the money worthless, or were the shares assigned? Um, so you need to tell the platform what happened. Did it expire worthless or were the shares assigned to you? So that's all that means. So if you hold a bull put through expiration and it expired out of the money, very quick and easy. You just click the reconciliation and it's going to put a little guess in there like, I think it's out of the money. Yes, you click, yes, it did. Save that for both legs. Boom, good to go. So pretty quick. In fact, if you want a more explanation on that, there is a new video that just got released on our training on YouTube showing how to do the reconciliation.
Okay, Jim has a question on charts. Can you create your own profile?
Yes, you can. Great question. So the ones up here are just the default ones to help get you started. The ones down below here are all the ones that I've created. So this is my favorite one, honestly, where I got the 5 EMA on there as well. So you can create your own profile. The one thing you really need to remember is once you've built it, click the save button. So downward arrow, save the chart profile so it doesn't go away on you. But yeah, you can create as many profiles as you want. Again, I've got, I don't know, that's 8 or so. Yeah, I've got 8 or so in there.
Cool. Let's see. So Shireen was asking, do you have the ability to notify us on different information in charts? For example, can you notify us if a particular stock is approaching a specific price?
That is a great question. We
Sounds
have
like
the
yes.
ability to put alerts in here. So if right here, add alert for symbol. So we can create an alert. Now, I will say this feature is about to get a lot better. Okay. Right now, what it'll do is it'll alert the browser, which means if you're on your computer, you'll see that. But if you're not, then you won't. That's a little bit of a challenge right now. When we get our mobile platform, we will send push notifications to your phone. So you might be out mowing the lawn or you might be out at the store or whatever, and you go, oh, eBay just hit this price level. And now it let you know you take a break from whatever you're doing. You either hop on your phone or your computer, you execute that trade, whatever it is you need to do. Maybe you close it out for profit or stop out. Um, but some really good things coming there that'll improve this even more. But yes, we do have alerts.
Okay. And lastly, Jim was just wondering if we were going to do a webinar specifically on creating screeners.
Great question. It's already been done. It's already been done. Yeah. If you go to that link that Caleb posted in there with all the trainings, I've got a training in there, probably 10 minutes long or so, just on screeners, showing you how to do that. So go check that out. I've got a training on there for scans as well. And guys, again, I flew through stuff here. I didn't even get through all the things that I wanted to cover today. But we're already over time. But I flew through things, but the trainings that I have, I go a lot slower. It's kind of designed so that, maybe if you have two screens, you can kind of watch me do it and then you do it as well. So a lot more in-depth information on screener scans, all the stuff that we have in Charts by TRADEway.
Well, cool. Board's clear over here, and I think yeah, we can cinch this one up. Sweet.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Caleb. Well, guys, I really appreciate you guys being on. This was a lot of fun to do. Our first charts intro webinar for those of you who aren't familiar with our platform yet. So thank you for taking the time to invest in your own financial future. I really do love that. Caleb, thank you for being on as well and for saving the day when my computer freaked out on me. So that's two webinars in a row that you've saved the day on that one. So oh, I got to figure out computer stuff. But guys, thank you again for being on. This was a good one, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, David. Bye, everybody.